going on, everybody? I just won the WWE Championship. Can you believe that shit? I just kicked Brock Lesnar's ass. I kicked fucking Roman Reigns' ass. WrestleMania 34. I did it! Can you believe it, Bronco Juggalo fans?
You don't work for the WWE, dumbass. You forgot to take your medicine again.
Are you fucking kidding me? What's going on, everybody? This is Bronco Juggalo, and I'm coming at you today with the WrestleMania 34 review. I'm sorry this is a couple days late. I don't know what happened. I appear to have lost track of a couple days. According to my wife, I guess I forgot to take my pills. So, sorry about that. I meant to have this out sooner to you guys. Don't know what possibly came over me. But anyways, so WrestleMania 34 was done in New Orleans at the Superdome. 78,133 people in attendance. I'm going to do the pre-show, just a quick rundown of the matches in the pre-show, and then we'll get into the main event. Of course, with this WrestleMania, there was, as usual, all kinds of celebrities and people there. One in particular that caused a little bit of rumors was Dana White. Was he just there to see Ronda Rousey? Was he there checking up on his investment, Brock Lesnar? Why was he there? We don't know. So, the pre-show, we got 3 matches during. The first match of the pre-show was the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. 30 superstars beating the crap out of each other, trying to throw one another over the top rope to see who wins the Andre the Giant trophy. And this year's winner, after a much heated match, this year's winner was none other than Broken or Woken, depending on how you like his character, Matt Hardy. And he did it with the help of the surprise comeback of Bray Wyatt. Now, does this mean that Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy are now a tag team? You'll have to find out on Raw. I don't know. This may be a little late, so you may already know. The second match was for the Cruiserweight Championship, and the winner of that match was Cedric Alexander. Now, honestly, I'm really not into the Cruiserweights anymore. I loved the Cruiserweights back when WCW did it. I liked the Cruiserweights with Rey Mysterio, with, I even liked Sin Cara. I loved, Dean Malenko. I loved Kalisto. I loved so many of the great luchadors and the great cruiserweights that we've had in the past, but this current crop, I'm just really not into it. I really don't dig 203 Live. I think it's kind of a boring show. The in-ring action's pretty good, but as far as the rest of it goes, it's just pretty boring. So that's just my take. I'm sorry, I'm just not really into the cruiserweights. After the Cruiserweight Championship, it was the women's first ever 30 women battle royale match for a new trophy, the women's trophy. And I just gotta say, what the fuck, WWE? I heard rumors about this on the internet leading up to WrestleMania. I didn't believe it. I couldn't believe it until I saw it with my own eyes. What the fuck? The championship, the women's battle royal trophy looks just like the diagram of a vagina. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm not even joking. If you didn't watch WrestleMania, look for it on the internet. Check out a screenshot. It looks like the diagram of a vagina. Not even playing. I don't get it. Whatever. Naomi won. It was a decent match. She won. Good props to her. And that was it for the pre-show matches, guys. So kicking off the main show, WrestleMania, it started with the Intercontinental Championship match. The Intercontinental Champion, The Miz, defended in a triple threat against Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. And as The Miz is coming out, he tells his Miztourage to basically kick rocks, that he can do this on his own. He's got this. He doesn't need them. Maybe he should have had them stick around. I will say this, though. Miz worked his ass off in that match. You can actually see how good Miz is when you put him up against these guys. Balor and Rollins are both great competitors, in my opinion. And Miz is right in place with them. A lot of people talk trash about The Miz. The Miz is a really, really hard worker and a really good competitor. I know he doesn't get a lot of credit, but he should. The Miz is a really good wrestler. I've had my ups and downs with him where I hated him, especially when he first started, being from reality TV and then the stuff with Tough Enough that he did. But The Miz deserves every bit of accolades that he gets. He is an awesome guy, awesome wrestler. Where was I? Oh, yes, sorry. The Miz worked his ass off, but in the end, Seth Rollins did win the championship, which made him the very next Grand Slam champion winner. He has now held every WWE title, with the exception of women's titles, of course, but every title that he's eligible for, he has held. So that makes him a Grand Slam champion. Whether or not he deserves that or not, I don't know. I'm just saying, I think he's a great competitor, but he really did get a strong push, and then he's kind of floundered ever since. I'm not sure what's going on there, but hey. So after that, we had Asuka and Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Let me just say this. I am not a huge fan of our current crop of women wrestlers. I think there's talent in a select few, and by few, I mean very few. Like 6 people. That's it. The rest of them, they all need to go back to developmental. I'm sorry. They can't sell matches. They have no idea what they're doing. And yes, ex-champion Alexa Bliss, I'm talking to you. And also Sasha Banks. I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody says, you guys are terrible. Bayley, you're right there too. And your character stinks, by the way. Not that you're watching this, so whatever. But 2 of the women that do deserve to be in this championship match that are awesome competitors, awesome wrestlers, and that is Charlotte Flair and Asuka. And let me tell you this right now, the Empress did not disappoint. She took the Queen to her limit. She was awesome. They were both awesome. This is probably the best women's match I've seen since Lita versus Trish. And that's saying a lot, because there have been some good women matches, and there's been some shitty women matches. More shitty than good ones. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. It's just the way it is. This was an awesome match. This was a match that will go down in the ages. This match deserved to be a headliner. It really did. That's how good this match was. After the Women's Championship match, John Cena, who had been in the crowd the entire time as a spectator, supposedly bought a ticket. Which, come on now, we all know John didn't buy no front row ticket. But still, it was a cool angle. It was a really cool idea what they were doing. And he literally was enjoying the show. You could tell that he was having a lot of fun just sitting there watching. And it was really cool to him hanging out with the fans and watching the show. But all of a sudden, a ref comes down, and the ref gets in his ear and whispers something to him. And he says something like, "He's here. Really? He's here?" And he gets up and he bolts as fast as he can up the ramp into the back. And that has since, in the 2 days since WrestleMania, become a huge internet meme. John Cena running up the ramp, which is pretty funny, but it did work. It worked. It really did. Nobody knows really what the guy said to him. All we know is that John took off like a bat out of hell, like they were giving away free pizza. So after that, after John Cena took off to the back, we got our U.S. title match. Now this was a fatal 4-way match. This was a match with Rusev, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, and Jinder Mahal. And it was a really decent match. I am not the biggest Bobby Roode fan. I know he came from TNA. He was doing some stuff over there and he's pretty popular. Personally, I think the whole Glorious thing is just kind of lame. And the robes, it looks like he went through Ric Flair's closet. Sorry. I'm also a big Orton fan because I'm very much old school wrestling. And Orton has that old school style. I still really like it, really respect it. A lot of the new wrestlers, it takes a lot to impress me. I'm going to be honest with you when it comes to wrestling. It takes a lot to impress me. No, I'm not some expert or anything like that. I've just been watching it for 36 years. And I know what I like, and what I like is old school wrestling. Orton is an old school wrestler. He's kind of in between. He's part of this new generation. He's part of the old generation. He's in between. But he's awesome, and he should have retained that title, in my opinion. But with a Fatal 4-Way, you only have a 25% chance. And unfortunately, he didn't even get pinned. It was Jinder Mahal pinning Rusev for the title. Jinder Mahal is the new U.S. champion, which I find absolutely hilarious whenever somebody who portrays being from another country and hates Americans wins the title. It just makes the storylines that much more interesting. So I got to definitely say kudos on that. I wish personally Randy Orton would have won, but it's a good move. And I think it's going to be a great storyline going forward. Following the U.S. title match was the match that a lot of fans were waiting for. It was finally time, guys. We get to see the debut of Ronda Rousey. This debut has caused no end of controversy and hype and jealousy and everything else. And I can, as far as the jealousy and the controversy goes, I can see the point. You have certain women wrestlers that have been very vocal about her getting this spot right off the bat and not having to do anything to earn it inside the wrestling ring. All these women have been putting in their dues, whether I like them or not, whether I think they're any good or not. They have been working their asses off. They've been putting in their dues. And here comes Ronda, because she's famous, because she's an outside fighter, and she automatically gets, into the WrestleMania spotlight, front row center. Not just into the spotlight, with two of the greatest wrestlers of all time, and one Hall of Famer and one who will be in the Hall of Fame as soon as he allows himself to get inducted. And that's Triple H and Kurt Angle. And then she's also in there with Stephanie McMahon. And I know people, this is not a popular opinion, everybody hates Stephanie McMahon. Shut your mouth. Stephanie's awesome. She was the best general manager in the history of the WWE. Flat out, period. She was that damn good. She was an awesome GM. She's a pretty decent wrestler. And she knows how to put people over, just like Triple H knows how to put people over. And what she's done for this business, she's got my eternal props. So, thank you, Stephanie. Like I said, I can get the problem with that. But here's the other problem, though, or the other side to that coin. Ronda, and I'm not going to compare her to Brock, because Brock was a wrestler before he was UFC. Ronda is a huge draw. Huge. She has millions of fans. Even if she didn't have millions of fans, people just want to see her. They want to see her fight. They want to see her win. They want to see her lose. People want to see Ronda Rousey, just like people want to see Brock Lesnar, even though, well, we'll get to that at the end of the review. So, anyways, though, I'm sorry, got off on a tangent there, but I get it. I get both sides of the coin. But I'm sorry, ladies, even though I truly agree with your plight, Ronda Rousey is best for business. And I don't care if you're quoting the authority or whatever. At the end of the day, that was the best move WWE has done probably this whole year. They just brought in a legion of brand new fans. I had some lady texting my wife saying, hey, who won? Ronda Rousey? And she doesn't even like wrestling, but she loves Ronda Rousey. So, right there, it's opening doors for new fans for WWE. Anyways, make a long story short, sorry. Actually, not a long story short, I went off on a tangent. I apologize. Kurt Angle, Ronda Rousey versus Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. First thing I gotta mention, Triple H's entrance. Stephanie McMahon's entrance. It was fucking awesome. A double line of badass biker chicks driving badass bikes down the ramp with Stephanie and Harley on their own trikes. Now, people say, well, why are they using trikes? I'm pretty sure Triple H rides a bike. I don't know if Stephanie does, so I don't know. But when you're about to compete, it's probably best if you don't take the chances. So when you're trying to do a choreographed thing with multiple bikes and things like that, using the trikes was probably a good idea for them. Just saying, but it was the trikes were badass. They were customed out. They had the Iron Cross headlights. The games, you could see like a mural painted on the back. You couldn't really make it out, but you knew they were custom just for Triple H and Stephanie, and they were beautiful. Beautiful trikes, beautiful bikes, beautiful women on the bikes. It was cool. It was an awesome thing to see. It was a great entrance. You know what? I'm a little bit remiss. I forgot to mention Charlotte's entrance. She had the entire old school Roman Empress entrance going on. Like Gladiator Queen entrance, you know what I mean? She looked in golden robes, 4 guys in full-out gladiator costumes coming out with her. Excuse me. So I'm a little remiss that I didn't mention that. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. But yeah, it was an awesome entrance. Both of their entrances was awesome. When Kurt Angle and everybody got into the ring, they started going at it. They started wrestling. Kurt Angle and, of course, Triple H start out the match, and they're going around and around, and then Ronda gets tagged in. Stephanie gets tagged in, and Ronda explodes out of the corner, and she starts kicking Stephanie's butt, and it's pretty cool. And Stephanie puts up one hell of a fight. Everybody remember, Stephanie is a former WWE Women's Champion. They were going round and round. They were fighting. And the situation ended up where Stephanie got into the ring with Triple H. Triple H had pulled Stephanie out of the ring while she was about to pin... Triple H pulled Ronda out of the ring while she was about to pin Stephanie. And Stephanie was laying outside on the floor. Kurt was outside on the floor. Triple H is standing in the ring. And Ronda comes bouncing in the ring and just gets all up in his face. And the ref is like, no, you can't do this. And Triple H backed the ref off. He's like, you know what? I'm the boss. We're going to allow this. And here's where I want to give major props to Triple H. Not only is Triple H one of the greatest of all time, he's also one of my favorites of all time. And right now, Triple H, in my opinion, I don't care what anybody says, is the best wrestler on the current roster. He's the best wrestler in the last 20 years, with the exception of people that have already retired. And I like a lot of good wrestlers. There's a lot of new wrestlers. Triple H is the man, has been the man, and will be the man for a long time. I don't care what anybody says. He's awesome. Triple H did exactly what he wanted to do. And honestly, as a fan of Triple H, I'm getting a little tired of seeing it. Triple H, once again, made himself look like a sucker on purpose. Don't anybody forget that. He did this on purpose to make Ronda look great. And she did. She looked great. One thing I got to say, though, is when she put Triple H into the armbar, you could tell how easily he could have broken that. You could tell. All he had to do was curl, and he would have brought her all the way over. He almost did. You could see him move, and then you see him relax it, because he's doing his job. He's putting her over. He made her look great. She's beating the crap out of him. She gets him on the armbar, and everybody's like, is Triple H going to tap? Of course Triple H is not going to tap. Stephanie, of course, is going to save him. That match would have been too short if that would happen. But Triple H did his job perfectly. And I commend him for that. I admire the selflessness. But I am tired of seeing Triple H just putting people over. He did it last year at WrestleMania with Seth Rollins. He did it a couple years before with Daniel Bryan. And we'll get to that in a second. I know I'm going to be unpopular for that opinion. Triple H should be world champ. Triple H should be the Universal champ. Triple H should be the heavyweight champ. I'm sorry. Okay, here it is. I'm a John Cena fan. I'm a Triple H fan. Both of those guys should be champ. Randy Orton should be a champ. Oh, let me think. Anybody else? Finn Balor. I think that guy is a future champ. And he was Universal champ once, and I think he should be again. Awesome guys right there. Nakamura. He should be champ. Roman Reigns. I have no problem with. He's a good wrestler. I'll get more into that later. But those guys should be champs all the time. Everybody else, I'm sorry, I don't think they deserve it. I'm not a huge AJ Styles fan. He's okay. He's a good wrestler. But should he be the champion? Crucify me if you want. Comment section down below. Go ahead. This is my review. That's what I think. So, you can stop watching if you want to. That would suck. I love that you guys watch. I'm sorry if you don't like my opinion. But that is what it is. So, Kurt Angle and Triple H, they get back in the ring. They're boxing it out because Stephanie came in and broke up the Triple H and Ronda Rousey moment. And they're battling it out, and then Ronda goes fucking nuts, and she starts kicking ass. She is kicking ass all over the ring. It was a good moment for Ronda. It was a good way to show into the business. She was very impressive. I was very impressed with Ronda. You can tell that she is not a wrestler yet, but I think she will get there. She will learn very fast. She is going to be a very impressive force in the WWE for at least the next year or so. I'm not sure how long her contract is, but she is going to be good. And once again, I got to give props to Stephanie and Triple H for doing exactly what they were supposed to do, exactly what they knew they were going to do. And they sold her like you wouldn't believe. Unless you saw it, then you know, but you might not admit it to yourself, but that's the truth. This is a bit of a long one, guys, so bear with me. We're getting there. We're getting through these matches, and it's going to be awesome. The pay-per-view was an awesome pay-per-view. For the most part, most of the matches were really good, really decent. After the Triple H, Ronda Rousey, Stephanie McMahon, Kurt Angle match, John Cena's music hits. And here comes Cena doing his entrance. You know, he's ready. He's ready for WrestleMania. Here he comes. We all knew it was going to happen. Nobody expected John to not have a match. He comes down and he's waiting. He's waiting for an opponent. Nobody comes. John's like, what? Where is he? Nobody comes. Place goes dark. The crowd erupts. And who comes out through those curtains? Elias. Elias comes down, insults John, insults the WWE Universe, plays a song meant to insult everybody. John kicks his ass all over the ring and throws him out, and John's still waiting for his opponent. Don't know who John's opponent is. We all know who we want it to be, but we don't know who it is. The ref comes out, tells John, sorry, no match. It looks like it was a false alarm. Didn't happen. John's pissed. John's bugged. You can tell John is bugged. His music hits. That makes him even more bugged. And he's like, all right. And he starts walking up the ramp. He gets about halfway up the ramp and bam, lights go out again. And we hear it. Boom. Boom. Lightning. Fire. And the smoke and everything. Perfect, typical entrance for the one and the only. The dead man, the Undertaker. He rises from beneath the stage. It's beautiful. It is a WrestleMania moment. I don't care how many times you've seen The Undertaker do it at WrestleMania. Every single time is special. The Undertaker, I didn't include him in that list of people that should be champions because we all know that The Undertaker is basically just doing WrestleManias now. I hate that. The Undertaker is another one of my absolute favorites, and I wish he was there every night, but it does make the times when we get to see him that much better. The Undertaker looked great. He looked to be in great shape. I wonder if I was the only one that noticed. I don't think I was, but I wonder, did anybody else notice the Undertaker was wearing hair extensions? At first I thought his hair had grown out a little longer. But then I looked closer and realized he's wearing hair extensions. But whatever. So, I forgot to mention, I'm sorry I keep doing this, but it's because this is such a big event. There was so much going on. Right before The Undertaker came out and the gong hit and the lights came back on to the fire and all that, the gong hit again and two spotlights hit. One on John Cena, one in the ring. And sitting there in the ring was The Undertaker's hat and gloves. And it was only there for a couple seconds. And then bam, lights went out again. Maybe 3 seconds. Lights come on, hat and gloves are gone. And that's when everything started and The Undertaker came up. The Undertaker starts striding towards the ring as only The Undertaker can do, with that slow walk, that intimidating as hell slow walk. Like, I'm telling you, that dude, that walk, that entrance, everything is designed to put the fear of God in you, and it truly does. I've even heard from wrestlers, and they're not selling a point. that say they are truly scared and intimidated when he's walking towards them. And The Undertaker and John, they start battling it out. Two best strikers in the business probably right now, and they're fighting it out. As I said earlier, I'm a huge John Cena fan, and here's one of the reasons why. John does what is best for everybody else. Now, some people want to argue that. I'm sorry, you're wrong. John does what is best for the company. John does what is best for the business as a whole. And John does what is best for all of his fellow wrestlers. And I'm guarantee you, if you talk to most wrestlers, they'll tell you the same thing. He sold The Undertaker so well. And I'm not saying The Undertaker needs to be sold. The Undertaker is one of the greatest of all times. But The Undertaker only was wrestled one time in a year. It was a year since he wrestled before. It was practically a year since he wrestled before that. The Undertaker doesn't really wrestle anymore. And John got his ass kicked by The Undertaker in such a divisive manner that you could tell that this match was just designed to give The Undertaker that WrestleMania moment. And I believe, my opinion is, he is now going to retire fully. John gave him, after losing to Roman Reigns, which people hated, everybody hated, I hated. Roman Reigns should not have beat The Undertaker. No way in hell should he. John gave The Undertaker, I know I'm going to catch so much crap for saying this, he gave The Undertaker credibility again. John put The Undertaker over. Not saying The Undertaker needed to be put over. He did for The Undertaker what he's done for countless new wrestlers. And The Undertaker reciprocated in kind by giving a great performance. It was an impromptu match, so it wasn't a very long match. It wasn't a long drawn out battle like the Shawn Michaels Undertaker matches, which are probably the best matches in the history of WrestleMania, or the Triple H Undertaker matches, which are up there in the conversation for the top best matches, sorry. But it was exactly what it was supposed to be, and John did such a great job. And once again, he did it for everybody else. He didn't do it for him. He did it for everybody else. And I think it's time people start giving props to John Cena for the things he does. Everybody knows chanting Cena sucks is fun. But I guarantee you, almost half the fans chanting that, or over half the fans chanting that, are trying to get his autograph too. I've seen it. I've literally seen guys wearing Cena sucks t-shirts and then begging him for an autograph. The match was stupendous. The match was great. The match was short. After the John Cena Undertaker match, it was the time for the Hall of Fame presentation. All the Hall of Famers came out, did their thing that they always do every year where they stand on the stage. I gotta say, I noticed a very conspicuous absence. Kid Rock wasn't there. I don't know if he had other engagements, what was going on. But you think, hey dude, they put you in the Hall of Fame, you could have showed up for WrestleMania too. You know, he's done all this other shit with WrestleMania. I'm not trying to be an ass to Kid Rock. I like Kid Rock. I thought during the Hall of Fame ceremony he looked like Jeff Foxworthy on a fishing trip, especially with them glasses and that mustache. I don't know what the hell's going on there, but I was like, holy shit, it's Jeff Foxworthy. But yeah, I noticed that he was absent. I don't know why they glossed over it. I thought maybe he was going to do a song or something, like he was going to come out and they were going to introduce him, Hall of Famer Kid Rock and his band, he would do a song. There's usually a song during WrestleMania. Didn't happen. No performance. I don't know. As long as we're on the subject of that, WWE, get your heads out of your asses. ICP for the Celebrity Wing Hall of Fame. They've done more for wrestling than anybody in that Celebrity Wing practically. They own their own wrestling company that has done more for wrestling. They are ex-employees, not employees, but they've wrestled for you. They wrestled for WWE, WCW, ECW, TNA. They've done it all. They've done it all over the world. They deserve it. Give it to them. So, after that match, we got the match that a lot of people were waiting on, because it was the return of, yes, Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Thoughts on this match? Before I give you my thoughts on this match, let me give you another piece of tidbit that's going to get me crucified. I don't like Daniel Bryan. I don't care what anybody says. Daniel Bryan is boring. Boring, boring, boring. It took Kane to make Daniel Bryan somewhat entertaining. And most of that was Kane. The whole Team Hell No thing, that was awesomeness. In its purest form, that was great. The Yes Movement, I've never understood it. I don't get it. Daniel Bryan is a decent wrestler. Daniel Bryan is a terrible person on the mic. Terrible on his character. Terrible on everything else that sports entertainment, the wrestling business needs to have. He's good in the ring. That's it. And even then, there's other people that are better than him in the ring. There's other people that are just as good in the ring. Daniel Bryan's good. Daniel Bryan works hard. I don't get why he's employed. That's just me. Probably, honestly, I think it's because of his wife, honestly. At least it is. Well, I mean, yes, okay, Daniel Bryan has a legion of fans now. I have no idea why. The guy is just not that great. He's really not. I'm sorry. Crucify me again. Comment sections down below. Go ahead. Call me all kinds of names. Doesn't bother me. Go ahead. Daniel Bryan sucks. I said it. Deal with it. His partner, on the other hand, Shane McMahon. Shane gives it his all every second, every time, every chance. Shane is a guy who is not a wrestler, but is actually a very good wrestler. Shane has impressed me since way back in the day when he was fighting against or fighting with his father. Shane is an awesome guy. I don't know if the whole him having a hernia thing was real or storyline, but even with that, whether it was real or not, and at Shane's age, he's still up there doing coast to coast, which is still one of the coolest moves in the industry. And how many people can pull that one off? I don't think even Daniel Bryan can pull that one off as athletic as he is. I don't think he can do it. Shane can do it. Shane will put everything on the line. He'll fall off the Jumbotron. He'll fall off the top of a cage. He'll do whatever he needs to do to sell his match, and he does it well. Shane and Daniel Bryan versus Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn win, they get hired back into the business. If they don't, they're still fired. Long story short, decent match. Shane was good. Sami Zayn was good. Daniel Bryan's good. Don't get me wrong, he's a good wrestler. Just don't like him. Kevin Owens, I'm not a big fan of Kevin Owens. I don't think Kevin Owens is that great. I think Kevin Owens was all hype, and he should be back at NXT still, honestly. That being said, Shane McMahon, Daniel Bryan, they kicked ass. They won the match. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are still technically fired. After that came the Raw Women's title match. And it was Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax. Another opinion I might get crucified for. Nia Jax has no business in this match. Hell, Alexa Bliss has no business in this match. If anybody watched the Elimination Chamber match, you would see that Alexa Bliss has no business in this match. When she was up on the cage and they tried to make it look like, and she jumped off, and that was the worst sell I've ever seen in my life. It was terrible. She looked scared to death. They should have practiced it like 500 times before they did it because it was terrible. She should never have done it. She should not be champion. She shouldn't even be on the roster. I'm sorry. Alexa Bliss, you shouldn't be on the roster. Your character's cool. I get it. Other than that, bye. Nia Jax, same thing. Bye. People, I don't know where Nia Jax has gotten this big group of fans from, but I like Nia Jax's message. Be who you are. Love who you are. Don't let other people bully you. You know, don't let body shaming bother you. Good message. That being said, Nia Jax is no more than a big person. a big person with zero talent. And you can tell when she has wrestled that she has hurt people because she did not know what she was doing. Nia Jax should not be champion. Nia Jax shouldn't have been in that match. I'm going to name a few names for you. Charlotte, Asuka, Becky, Naomi, the best one in my opinion, Natalya, who is way underrated and needs way more exposure. She should be women's champion. Nikki Bella, I think that's it. That's your women's division. Those 6 women right there carry that division. They are the best women in that division. I didn't mention Ronda Rousey because I guess she's in the division, but she's new, so whatever. Every single other woman on the roster, take your asses back to NXT because you don't belong on the main event. Sorry, you don't. Go ahead, guys. Comment sections down below. Have at me. Anyways, Nia Jax wins the match. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because I really don't care. Nia Jax wins the match. It's done. It's over with. On to the next match. The next match is a match I was looking forward to a lot, and in my opinion should have been the absolute main event of WrestleMania. Nakamura versus AJ Styles. I told you earlier I'm not a big fan of AJ Styles. It has nothing to do with his talent. The guy is so fucking talented, it's beyond belief. I'm just not really big into AJ Styles. I'm just not a big fan of him. I mean, he's cool. There's nothing wrong with him. Do I think that he should be the World Heavyweight Champ or the WWE Champ or whatever they're calling the title these days? The WWE Champ, the Universal Champ. By the way, I still think the Universal title was a stupid idea. Why didn't they just bring back the World Heavyweight Champ again? Even if they redesign the belt. The Universal title, that just sounds dumb. And it sounds like they're trying to make it over the WWE Championship, which it's not. The WWE title is the main title in the business still, even with the Universal Championship being its equivalent. I love fucking Nakamura. Nakamura is awesome. He is a great wrestler. I cannot wait to see more and more of Nakamura every single week. Nakamura also, to me, has one of the coolest entrances in all of WWE. When it's on a regular night, his entrance is cool. At WrestleMania, his entrance was phenomenal. Everything goes dark. The spotlight hits, there's smoke rolling, and we see a smoking hot female guitarist blazing out some music. And at first it took me a second to realize what it was. It was Nina Strauss, the guitarist for Alice Cooper. I thought she was going to be, I honestly thought it was Kid Rock coming out to do a show. I know if Kid Rock doesn't have a female guitarist, I just happen to think, okay, well, maybe Kid Rock is going to sing, or somebody's coming out to sing. Wasn't the case. Nina Strauss launches into Nakamura's theme. And then here comes a whole double line of violinists. And they are knocking out of the park. And then I look, and most of them are kids. They're young. And Nakamura comes down, he's doing his thing, and it looks awesome. It is so great. Him and AJ Styles had a battle for the ages. That match was so good. It was so awesome, and Nakamura should have won. He should have won. I can't believe AJ Styles beat him. I'm still bugged about that. That match got more This Is Awesome chants than any other match all night. That match was phenomenal. Pun intended. Actually, is that even a pun? Whatever. AJ Styles, Nakamura hit it out of the park. I may not be the biggest AJ Styles fan, but I got to give him props for this match. It was awesome. Nakamura is going to be an awesome, awesome champion soon. He will be a champion very soon.
Hey guys, I completely forgot to mention, at the end of the Nakamura AJ Styles match, Nakamura gets down on one knee to present the title to Styles. As he's doing this, Styles takes the title from him in a gesture of goodwill, a gesture of respect. Nakamura delivers a low blow, and therefore I believe Nakamura is doing a full heel turn, which I think is a great idea. Sorry, I forgot to mention that.
After Nakamura and AJ Styles, the next match was for the Raw Tag Team Championship. The Bar came out on a full-out New Orleans Mardi Gras themed float, characters, everything. It was pretty cool. They are facing off against Braun Strowman and his mystery partner that Braun has been not telling anybody about for weeks. Here comes Braun. The float is still standing there. Braun steps through the float, turns around, rips the float apart, and throws it off the stage. All of the characters run out of his way, running for their lives. It was pretty funny. He gets down to the ring. He gets on the mic, which Braun is a really good big man. He's going to be a good wrestler. He needs to work on them mic skills. He said he's been keeping his opponent a secret for a purpose. And then he announced that his partner a secret on purpose. Then he announced that his partner is one of us, the WWE Universe. And he went out into the whole arena searching for a partner. And he found one in the form of, I believe, a 10-year-old boy named Nicholas. Nicholas looked petrified. Absolutely looked petrified. The entire time he was in there, Braun walking into the ring, Braun putting him on the end of the ring. He looked petrified. He really did. He looked so scared. Braun told him just stand on the apron, he'll take care of the rest, which is exactly what happened. One time, Braun got in a little trouble, and he did tag in Nicholas. Everybody knew that wasn't going to actually happen. Nicholas comes into the ring, and he's standing there, and he's putting up his little fists like he's going to do something. And then, I believe it was Cesaro on the other side of the ring. Cesaro's like, are you serious? And Nicholas turns around, tags in Braun. Braun comes back in, kicks the crap out of the Bar, and pins them. And him and Nicholas are now the World Tag Team Champs. Yes, a 10-year-old is the official Raw Tag Team Champ. His name will go down in the books as the Tag Team Champ. I thought it was a cool moment. I thought it was probably like a Make-A-Wish thing or something like that. And I still haven't been told yes or no. I've heard a lot of rumors. I don't know if it's true or not. I've been told, or I've been looking online, that this Nicholas kid is actually the son of one of the refs. And if that's true, I don't know how I feel about that. It's still a kid, man. The kid got to have an awesome WrestleMania moment. So all these grown-ass men need to just shut up and let the kid have his moment. Should it have been maybe a Make-A-Wish thing? That might have been a little bit cooler. I don't know. I don't know the story back there. I don't know what's going on. Everybody's throwing a fit about it. They just need to shut up, though. I'm sorry, they do. They just need to shut up. So, after that happened, it was time for the main event. A match that's a lot of people were looking forward to. A match that everybody thought was going to be Brock Lesnar's final match in the WWE. People were thinking Reigns is finally getting the title. They're trying to put Reigns over again. Here we go. And leading up to this match, Reigns was cutting some awesome promos. Reigns, I think, actually got quite a few more fans with those promos. And he did say a lot of things that everybody's been thinking. I like Brock Lesnar. I've always been, not really a fan of Brock Lesnar. But the guy is a force to watch, and he sells tickets, and they're smart by doing what they do with him, because if Brock Lesnar gets put on a card, if he was on the card every night, it might lessen the impact. You put Brock Lesnar on a card, and it automatically is going to boost your ticket sales, probably by about 5,000 to 10,000 seats. Brock Lesnar is that kind of attraction. But I also agree with Roman Reigns. Brock is not there all the time. I want to see a champ that's there. I don't want to see a champ that comes in every 6 months. In fact, in the WWE, you're supposed to defend the title within 30 days or lose it. And we all heard Vince McMahon say that Brock has special privileges. That wasn't just storyline, folks. Brock has special privileges. Period. Take what you want of that, do what you want with it, think what you want with it. That's the way it is. I personally don't like it. They didn't ask for my opinion, though, so. Brock and Reigns, they're battling it out. It's brutal. Brock is slaughtering Roman. Suplex after suplex after suplex after suplex. Reminded me of when he fought John Cena a few years ago. And it was all one-sided. This is exactly what that match was. Reigns wouldn't stay down. He kicked out of 5 F5s. Lesnar kicked out of at least 3 spears. One spear which was over the table into the announcing area. Neither guy would stay down. Finally, Lesnar took his gloves off and just started pummeling Reigns. And as he pummeled, he came forward, typical MMA move. I've used it myself on people when I've trained, when I fought, whatever. And no, I'm not an MMA fighter. I'm just fought. That's all. I'm not saying anything. Don't get your panties in a knot. He punches him, and he brought that elbow around, and he caught him with the point of his elbow and cut him open. Reigns is bleeding like crazy. He has blood everywhere. Literally crimson mask, and he started seeing red. Almost think he kind of lost it on purpose. He actually really did lose it, in my opinion, just a little bit. I think that really pissed him off. And he got in there and he started fighting. And he came back a little bit. He put up a fight, but to no avail. Brock got him again. And finally, on the 6th F5, Reigns stayed down. Brock, 1, 2, 3. Brock retained. The entire time during the match, the entire crowd was chanting, "This is awful." And I hate to say it, I got to agree. I was looking forward to this match so much. I even tweeted that this match was going to bring the house down. This was the match that was going to blow everybody away. I thought Lesnar was going to come in and blow everybody away, and Reigns was going to come in and win, and everybody was going to be pissed, but some people were going to be super happy because now Lesnar's gone. None of that happened. And coming to find out the next night, Lesnar's contract's been extended at least through this special WWE Network only pay-per-view they're doing over in Saudi Arabia. It's in Saudi Arabia. The Super Royal Rumble. And it's just a one-time show that they're doing. And he is going to be facing Roman Reigns again for the title. Also found out the next night on Raw, even though I didn't get to watch it because I was working, Bobby Lashley made his return. And rumor has it, it's going to be Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam for the WWE title. But we also know, and we do know this, Dana White confirmed it, Brock is signed to UFC. He is going back for a UFC fight. When that happens, I don't know, but the way Dana made it sound is like it'll be pretty soon. So, we're not done with Brock Lesnar in WWE, and we're not done with him in UFC either. So, if you're a Brock Lesnar fan, you got a lot to look forward to. I like Brock Lesnar. I don't know if I'd call myself a fan, but I like him. As far as fighting goes, as far as his, attitude goes, I do want a champion that's in the ring all the time, though. I want a champion that's there fighting. I want a champion that has good storylines. That's just the wrestling fan in me. That's what I want to see. Give me a new champion, WWE. Give me somebody who's there, please. Please. That was it, though, guys. That was the show. It was over. It was great. And yes, I know I forgot a match, and I'm so sorry. When I started talking about the Raw match, or the Raw Tag Team match, I completely forgot to mention the SmackDown Tag Team match. I truly apologize. It was a very decent match. New Day versus the Usos versus one of my favorite new tag teams, the Bludgeon Brothers. I really like the Bludgeon Brothers. I like their whole getup. I like their outfits. I like their masks. I like the big hammers they're carrying around. Even though they kind of look a little Flintstone-ish, I like it. It's fun. It's a cool gimmick. And you can tell they're having a blast doing it. And I was so happy to see them win the SmackDown Tag Team titles. I'm so sorry I forgot that match. Please forgive me. I'm giving it to you now, but it's not a lot of detail. It was a great match. I am happy that it was not the New Day that won again. I like the New Day well enough. But I'm getting tired of seeing them win all the time. I'm getting tired of seeing pancakes. I'm getting tired of seeing unicorns and bubblegum, cotton candy, whatever their gimmick is. They're funny. They are funny as heck, but their gimmick is so stupid. So that was it, guys. WrestleMania. We got some really cool 3D entrance effects that I'm pretty sure only people on TV could see. But they were awesome. They were like 3D coming out at you, you know, different effects, different things. Like for the New Day, for example, they had giant stacks of pancakes with unicorns on top. It was pretty cool looking. Asuka, they had the mask floating in the air. It was pretty cool looking. They also had really great lasers and things like that for the entries, for the people in the arena. All in all, this WrestleMania was very, very good. The last match should have been put back and changed places with the Nakamura match. That would have been a better ending because that match was just so phenomenal. And yes, I know I keep saying that. And yes, I know it's AJ's tagline. And no, I'm not doing it on purpose. Well, maybe a couple times I did, but that time it's the word I want to use because it truly was a phenomenal match. So that is it, guys. Let me know what you thought of the event. Let me know what you thought of WrestleMania. Let me know what you think of my review. If you're going to crucify me because of my opinions, go ahead. I'm all good with that. See you guys later.